ornament I'm absolutely in love with. These terracotta ornaments are so in this year. You're definitely going to want to try them out. So I picked up some clear plastic ornaments from Dollar Tree. And then I have a bunch of just random sample paint that I have around my office. So I grabbed some of my terracottas, some of my ivories that I wanted to use, and I mixed my paint with some baking soda. That's a very popular technique right now. It just adds a little bit more texture to your ornaments. Next, I'm going to paint each of my ornaments with a color. So I'm going to paint some terracotta, I'm going to paint some white, some ivory. I have this little wire shelf that I'm going to put them on to dry.
In my heart, but this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sanctuary. Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart, and I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this.
While my ornaments are drying, I'm going to add some rub and buff to the top of my ornament toppers. And this rub and buff was kind of like a deeper gold rust color. I'm just going to apply it with a foam brush.
Dance, have a good time, dance, dance, all night long. We're gonna dance, dance, and have a good time. I think Santa's gonna.
Now, once that dries and your ornaments are dried, you can add the toppers back on. And I thought since these were a little bit more of a natural ornament, I used some brown yarn that I had, more of a natural color, and I'm going to put that through my ornament and tie it off at the top. And these look great sitting out in a grouping. You could put them in a bowl. So many different options for these ornaments.
All right, you guys, I got a crazy DIY idea. I saw at Pottery Barn, they had these really cool bells. I'm gonna try to recreate them with these stocking hats.
I wish my bells were a little bit bigger, but I'm going to use what they have at Dollar Tree. I'm going to start by cutting off the greenery and bows that came on there. I'm going to do one coat of white spray paint to make sure that when I put the hats on, you can't see any of the gold through. I'm also going to use my wire cutters to cut off this top piece. I don't know if that was necessary, but I ended up doing it for all three of them. Then I'm going to wrap my hat around the top. I'm going to cut off any excess. And then I'm going to hot glue it on the back so it's nice and straight all the way around. With the excess on the bottom, I'm going to cut it off so I only have about an inch or two at the bottom, and then I'll hot glue that on the interior part of my bell. Now for my handle, I'm going to be using these rings that you can pick up at Dollar Tree, and I'll just place those in the center. And I'll repeat those steps for the other two bells as well. Now I know they don't look exactly alike, but I was able to get inspiration from those bells, and I think they are really cute.
I feel like I can never find the ribbon that I want from Dollar Tree, so when I see the ribbons that I know I'm gonna want for the season, I definitely pick them up.
Now with the ribbon that I just purchased at Dollar Tree, I'm going to add it to some candles that I already had on hand. You're gonna roughly measure with your ribbon a little bit longer than your candles and cut that off. And then just create several pieces of ribbon. I'm going to be using a product called Scotch Spray Adhesive. I'll link it for you down in the description box, but this product is great for adding fabric to really any item. So I'm going to flip the ribbon onto the back and I'm going to spray on the spray adhesive. Then I'm going to lay the ribbon with the spray adhesive side to my candle at a diagonal. Next, I'll keep putting additional pieces of ribbon on, kind of keeping that same diagonal line and trying to space them out as evenly as possible. Now, once I have all my ribbon on, I'm gonna come back in with my scissors. I'm gonna cut the ribbon so that it's nice and even with the top and bottom portion of my candle. And I'll repeat those steps on my second candle, so I have 2 candy cane candles. Now I really wanted to create something to put these candy cane candles in, so I picked up some glass containers at the thrift store as well as some candle holders. Now I didn't like the color of my candle holders, so I took them outside and spray painted them on the top and bottom with a red spray paint. Let that completely dry. I picked up some flat greenery from Hobby Lobby, and I will say with this project, using flat greenery is kind of the key here. I'm gonna cut all of the pieces of greenery off of my stems. Next, I'm going to hot glue the greenery onto the side of my clear containers. Now I kind of alternated my greenery, so I had some taller ones and shorter ones just to give a little bit of variation. Now, once you have your greenery on, you're going to cut it off at the bottom so you don't see any hanging off of the bottom of your vase. I felt like I needed to add something to the bottom of the vases to finish them off, so I had some red satin ribbon in my stash. I'm going to measure that around and cut it off so there's about probably an inch extra when I wrap it around, and then I'm gonna hot glue it onto the back of my vase, and I'll wrap it around and hot glue the other side in place. I'm going to add some E6000 to the top of my candlesticks, making sure I get enough E6000 to the top edge of my candlesticks. Then I'm going to add the glass candle holders on top, and I'll let these dry completely overnight. You can style these with regular candles, or you can put your candy cane candles inside.
I just found something that was left over for fall, but I think I'm gonna use it for Christmas decor. All right, these trees, you guys, they've been around for years, but they're always great decor.
I'll just start by removing the leaf off of this container. Then I'm gonna take my tree out, put a lot of hot glue at the bottom of my container and on the base of my tree, and then I'll place it in the center of the container. Next, I'm gonna spread out the branches. This next technique I have used for several years now. Essentially what I'm gonna do is get a packet of these greenery pieces and I'm gonna wrap them around. Why I'm doing this is just to make the tree look more full and to look a little bit more high-end than a $1.25 tree. Now in the base of my container, I'm gonna add in some faux snow. This was a little tricky to do, but I ended up getting it to work. Now I couldn't decide if I wanted to flock this tree or leave it as is. I kind of had this idea, what if I painted the tree? So I'm gonna use that same ivory sample paint and I'm just going to paint on the top of my tree. You wanna concentrate your paint on the top so it looks like snow is falling down on top of your tree. But I actually really like the way this turned out. If you don't have anything to flock your tree with, try some paint.
Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you.
Hey guys, I'm Liz and you're watching my second DIY channel where I post daily DIY videos. You may be familiar with my main channel, Liz Fenwick DIY, but I'm glad that you found me over here on my second channel. Make sure that you're subscribed so you just get notified every day when I post our daily DIY video.